Number 1 says write the equation of the line that passes through the given points. First thing we do is we find the slope. In order to find the slope, we subtract y minus y over x minus x. Whichever y you pick first, that's the x you have to pick first. I have -6 plus -2 because of additive inverse. That gives me -8. -2 minus -4 becomes -2 plus 4, which is +2. -8 divided by 2 is -4. That is my slope. In order to find my b, because remember our equation is y equals mx plus b, I have to plug the slope and one of these 2 points into this equation. So we'll say 2 equals -4 times -4 plus b. 2 equals -4 times -4 is 16. To get b by itself, I subtract 16 from both sides, and my b is -14. Now to write the equation, I take my slope and my b and plug it into this equation, y equals -4x minus 14. Number 2 says write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form with the given slope that passes through the given point. Then graph the equation. So we're going to graph -6, 4. We're going to go to the left 6 and up 4. And now my slope is 1/3, which means I go up 1 and to the right 3. I go up 1 to the right 3, up 1 to the right 3. This is my equation. And that passes the y-axis at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my equation is y equals 1/3 x plus 5. And you could check that by plugging all of this into y equals mx plus b. 4 equals 1/3 times -6 plus b. 1 times -6 is -6. -6 divided by 3 is -2. Add 2 to both sides. 6 equals b. Let's count this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, we did not get the same b. So we need to go back to our graph and check our points. We start at -6, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here's our problem. This is why it's very important for you to go back and work things out mathematically, because this would give me up 1 over 3. I would have a y-intercept of 6, so I know that this time I did it right. So my equation should be y equals 1/3 x plus 6. And I graphed it incorrectly the first time to show you that you have to double check your work with math so you make sure you get the right answer. Okay? So moving on to number 3. For 3 and 4, you have to graph the following linear equations. In order to graph an equation, you have to get it in y equals mx plus b form. So you have to isolate your y. I have 4x plus 2y equals -6. In order to get y by itself, I have to get rid of this 4x. I can't just move it, so I have to do the inverse operation. That gives me 2y equals -4x minus 6. These are not like terms, so I cannot combine them. I just write them beside each other. Now I have a 2, a coefficient with my y, so I'm going to divide because that's the inverse operation. That leaves me with y equals -2x minus 3. And now we know how to graph this. First thing I graph is my y-intercept. I'm going to go down 3. And my slope is negative 2. So I can go down 2 and to the right 1, or up 2 and to the left 1, as long as you get a negative slope. If your number is negative in your slope, then your slope needs to be negative as well. Number 4, 2x plus y equals 1. Subtract 2x from both sides. And y equals negative 2x plus 1. So I'm going to graph at the y-intercept, which is 1. And I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the left 1. And this is my graph. Alright, let's look at number 5. If I have the slope and the y-intercept, I already know my equation. I plug these into y equals mx plus b, and now I can graph it. Start with your y-intercept at negative 3, go up 1 to the right 3, up 1 to the right 3. That is your graph. Alright, writing equations from a graph or table. If I have this equation, first thing I look for is my y-intercept. That is at negative 1. My slope, I find 2 crosshairs. I'm going up. I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1, which simplifies to negative 2. So now I just plug these into y equals mx plus b. Where I see the m, I put my slope. Where I see the b, I put my y-intercept. Y equals negative 2x minus 1. Number 7. We have to draw 2 similar triangles to determine the slope. So we're using crosshairs, of course. This is rise over run, that's 1 over 2. And this one is two over 4, which simplifies to 1 over 2. So my slope is 1/2. Number 8. Rate of change is just my slope. So I pick a y and subtract another y. Pick the x that went with the first y. Subtract my next x. We have to do the inverse operation. 7 plus 3 is 4. 7 plus 3 is 10. 3 plus 2 is 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And number 9, determine whether or not each function is linear or nonlinear. It's not asking if it's a function. We already know that it's a function. It's asking if it's linear or nonlinear. So number 9, we have this 5 that's going to 0. 6 is going to 0 as well. If I have 2 x's that are going to 1 y, this is not going to form a straight line. It's going to give me a curve. So this will be nonlinear. Yes, it's a function because each input goes to a different output, but it's a nonlinear function. And number 10, first we have to put our x values in order from least to greatest in order to determine whether this is linear or nonlinear. Negative 1 goes with 16. 1 goes with 13. 3 goes with 10. 5 goes with 7. To go from negative 1 to positive 1, you add 2. To go from 1 to 3, you add 2. 3 to 5, you add 2. 16 to 3, subtract 3. 13 to 10, subtract 3. 10 to 7, subtract 3. So this is negative 3/2. I have a constant rate of change, which gives me a linear function.